What's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. If you're ever in Minnesota and you run into legal issues, please look me up. I'd be happy to help. So today I just want to do a short video and kind of offer an update in the Mars Argo versus Poppy and Titanic Sinclair lawsuit. Last time we left off, they had issued a summons, which I have pictured here next to me, for Mars Argo to serve upon Titanic Sinclair and Poppy. So once you have a summons in federal court, you serve that summons upon the other party, and then the other party has to respond within 21 days. So this was issued on April 23rd. Obviously, more than 21 days has passed since then. And you figure Mars Argo knows where to find Titanic Sinclair and Poppy, so presumably she would be serving them quickly. But for whatever reason, you know, we don't have any proof of that. So I want to pose to you a couple possible scenarios of what's happened. Okay, just to kind of let you guys know what the process is on this stuff. So once you are issued this summons by the court as Mars Argo, you have to serve this upon Titanic Sinclair and Poppy, or any other named defendants. I Am Poppy Incorporated, for example. However, you know, they accept service. You have to do all this within 90 days. If you don't do this within 90 days, one of two things will happen. Either the court will dismiss the action without prejudice, which would mean you'd have to refile your complaint, you'd have to reapply for your summons, you'd have to pay the filing fees over again. That's kind of the punishment for not serving in a timely manner. Unless you can provide a good reason why you haven't served in 90 days. So technically, Mars Argo can sit on this summons for 90 days from the 23rd of April. So that's what, May, June, July, yeah, July 23rd, roughly. I'm not going to do the actual calculation, but it's 90 days from the time of having this summons issued that she has to serve it. And so then once she serves it, she will have to provide proof of that service to the court. So there's typically you would have an affidavit of service. Now, I keep saying Mars Argo has to serve this. Mars Argo cannot actually serve this document herself. She has to have someone else do it, either her attorneys, or typically, you know, you would hire a process server. So this is someone whose job it is to kind of track people down and get documents to them. So her attorneys would be arranging that. She actually cannot be the one to serve this upon them. You have to have someone else do it who's not in the actual lawsuit. So once her side serves this document on the parties, they will have 21 days to respond from when each of them have been served. So if she's able to serve Titanic Sinclair tomorrow, but Poppy not for another 2 weeks because maybe Poppy's in Japan or something like that, who knows? You know, any number of reasons as to why the service would take a little bit longer for one party than the other. Each person has to respond within 21 days of when they are served. So, you know, Mars Argo will have to serve Corey Michael Mixter, who is Titanic Sinclair. She'll have to serve Titanic Sinclair Productions Incorporated, however they accept service of process. Corporations tend to have a process, a service accepting person. If it's just Corey Michael Mixter in the corporation, then very likely he is the person who would accept service of process. Otherwise, they may have a designated person, or they may hire someone to do so. She's serving Mariah Rose Pereira, Poppy. And then, of course, she also has to serve I Am Poppy Incorporated. And the same thing with Titanic Sinclair Productions is that as a corporation, she'll have to follow whatever the corporate rules for accepting service of process are. So once she has served each of those parties will have 21 days to respond, and then we will maybe get the ball rolling. So I just wanted to lay out there that she can actually sit on this service for quite a while, until near the end of July, before she has to take action. There'd be any number of reasons to do that. One would be to talk to any witnesses beforehand and try and line up all that stuff, because if you've got to start presenting things, then you might want to start getting your ducks in a row and making sure people are going to be around when you might need to get statements from them, or even getting statements ahead of time to bring to the case. The other thing they may be doing is both Poppy and Titanic Sinclair clearly know about this action, so they may actually be having a discussion, or their lawyers may already be having a discussion about potential settlements, ways to avoid a lawsuit. Lawsuits are very costly and time-consuming and stressful, so they may be talking about how they can avoid that altogether. Whatever the case may be, if Mars Argo does not file or does not serve this and provide that proof of service to the court within the 90 days, the court may dismiss the entire case on its own, or Poppy or Titanic Sinclair could make a motion to dismiss the case without prejudice for failure to serve within the 90 days. That's just how it goes. So I know a lot of you are out there waiting for that next step in the lawsuit, and if you're not familiar with how these things go, they take tons and tons of time. Lawsuits are the worst thing. They take infinite amounts of time. They go on way too long. Everybody has tons of time to do everything, and it's just, if you're trying to like follow one along, you're in for the long haul. So just letting you know that I'm still covering this case and watching for stuff to come out. There's just nothing. I did do a document check today on the federal case tracking website Pacer, and the last thing on this case is that summons issued on 4/23. The moment anything else is filed in this case, or a judge issues an order, or anything like that happens, it will show up on Pacer very quickly, and I'll check this every so often and look for it. Otherwise, of course, if I see anything in the news about the suit which would indicate that something new has happened, then I'll go and check then. But until then, right now we're just in a waiting game. And the other part of delaying service might be strategic. Brittany Sheets, Mars Argo, may want the other parties to kind of sweat a little bit and wonder when that service is going to occur. Depending on what your goals are in litigation, sometimes that's part of it, is playing a little bit of a mental game with the other party. That's not a good or bad thing. It's just a tactic that some people use for various reasons. So the other final possibility is that Mars Argo has no intention of following through with the lawsuit and will just allow it to be dismissed. And in that case, she uses the publicity of filing the lawsuit, never actually serves it, and then is able to maybe relaunch her brand or do some sort of promotion that way. That's something to do. She paid a filing fee for all of this, and if she decides to not go through with the suit, that's on her. And if Poppy and Sinclair never have to respond, she's not on the hook for attorney's fees or anything like that. So it could just be a way of gathering up some publicity and momentum from a PR perspective. I have no idea if that's what her goal is right now. She's still well within her 90-day period. So anyway, guys, just want to do a quick video legal update on the Mars Argo versus Poppy lawsuit. This is where we are, and stay tuned. I will cover things as they occur. Thanks for watching.